Peacemaker Season 2 has come to an end. Was the finale underwhelming, though? Spoilers for the final episode of Season 2 ahead, you've been warned. So this second season of Peacemaker had 8 episodes, and I watched all 7 leading up to this, so I binged it as opposed to watching it week to week. Having reached the finale, it is the longest episode of the bunch. I believe 58 minutes was the runtime. And a lot of this episode is devoted to smaller character moments, growing the bond between our main group. There are still multiversal elements at play. We see Argus going through the various doors, one of them including a bunch of imps, there's zombies in one of them, and even some more nods to Lex Luthor setting up what's to come in the future of the DC universe. But the episode overall, to me, feels a little underwhelming, I'll say it. There's no denying that from a character standpoint, they land the plane with this group. This motel scene in particular is a standout as they all have sort of a heart-to-heart and pour their heart out to Chris. And of course, the relationship between Harcourt and Peacemaker has a nice payoff in the end. But following episodes 6 and 7, this almost plays out like a slower-paced epilogue after all the dust has settled. Certainly isn't the most exciting episode of the season, which is kind of what I hope for when I watch a finale. But it's far from a bad episode of TV. I just can't help but feel like this episode meandered a bit, right? It didn't have the highest stakes. Sure, it does a good job of establishing the future of the cinematic universe, but I'm not sure this episode lived up to the quality of the previous. Of course, the big cliffhanger ending is that Peacemaker, Christopher Smith, is stranded on Salvation by Rick Flag Sr. He's going to be the test to see if they want to throw metahumans on this planet as a prison. This is something that's going to come into play in Man of Tomorrow and the future of the cinematic universe. The more I sit here and talk this out, the more I can't help but feel like this finale was more about setting up the future of the DC universe as opposed to just concluding the show we were watching in a satisfying way. We don't get any resolution with Keith in the other universe. In fact, we barely explore a lot of those other doors when you think about it. I wish the finale had a little more oomph to it. Solid episode, not the best of the season though. I just always want a finale to be an absolute home run, and I can't say that's the case here. I enjoyed the season quite a bit, but it didn't fully stick the landing for me.